Dan Labbe, Scott Patsko, Ellis Williams, the Browns with their final practice before they head to Jacksonville for their preseason opener. Now, we're not going to see many, if any, starters on Saturday night. Kevin Stefanski made that pretty clear today when we spoke to him. But, Scott, what are you watching in Jacksonville?
You know, I'm going to focus on special teams a little bit because that group is going to see things live action in situations you can't really replicate out here in practice. So both kickers, obviously, I think that's when the battle really begins. And then the return guys as well, guys like JoJo Natson and Ernest Johnson, who are a little farther down the depth chart at their other positions, having good performance in special teams will be big, and they're not going to get a lot of opportunities to begin with. So I think that group will be worth watching.
Ellis, what about you?
Yeah, I think this Browns group has a lot of young guys who have something to prove on Saturday and really throughout the preseason. Demetric Felton playing two positions. We're going to see him more at running back, more in the slot. JOK, he's a guy who was repping with the first team walkthroughs at the end of practice here, if you will. Let's see how he moves sideline to sideline, how he stops the run and plays coverage. And then even a guy like Jordan Elliott, though he played in every game last year, a guy who on the defensive line has a lot to prove if he can fill a role. And also his first preseason action despite being a sophomore on this team.
Yeah, I want to see the running backs is really what I'm looking at. Demetric Felton, like you mentioned, and then Scott, you mentioned him in the return game, but I want to see him on the field too, Ernest Johnson. That's kind of a battle to keep an eye on because I think those two guys, I don't think one is necessarily going to push the other off the roster, but it's still a battle to watch as we go forward. So I want to see how those guys do kind of in those Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt roles, since those two guys likely not to play on Saturday. Okay, there we go. The next time we talk to you, it will be after the Browns have played the Jacksonville Jaguars.